Welcome back to Screen and Ink. This is our full recap and review of the Odyssey. David, what'd you think, brother?
10 out of 10. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
everything we wanted from it,
Mhm.
we've obviously been waiting for years,
Yeah,
and it absolutely delivered. I think we knew Christopher Nolan was going to deliver,
absolutely.
but if it's possible, he surpassed expectations,
Yes.
in my opinion.
And there was a lot of controversy around this film.
There was.
Especially with the casting and how would he translate such an ancient text
Mhm.
and story to the screen.
Yeah.
And he did it perfectly, honestly. I prefer his interpretation of the Odyssey than the book.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree with you. I like it better than the book as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not even so much I like it better than the book, because I feel like it was such a good
Mhm.
translation from,
Right.
the ink to the screen,
Yeah.
that the reason I liked it better is because it genuinely transported me
Right.
onto the ship, into Troy with them.
Yes.
When they were in the wooden horse getting
Mhm.
pulled from the ocean, we were in the Trojan horse with
We were
them,
absolutely in there. And that was
Um,
one of the best things about the movie.
The
It
sound.
made you feel, especially seeing it in IMAX, makes you feel in every situation that Odysseus is in.
100%.
Whether it's in the Trojan horse, whether it's storming Troy, whether it's on the ship and going through a storm, whatever it is,
Yeah.
being trapped in the cave with Polyphemus,
The horror of
the horror of that
Cersei.
scene, I did not expect that at all. Like,
Me neither, man. If you took that scene
Mhm.
and placed it into any horror movie,
right?
it would fit right in. I mean,
Right.
that was a scary scene.
And I thought, all right, we'll go in the cave, we'll sneak around, and then we'll figure out he'll figure out a way to, they'll, disguise themselves and get out.
Sure.
No, was not the case.
And man, the whole time, they're eating,
Mhm.
she tells them to leave their armor outside, and there's just a bunch of armor and weapons at
with
the back
Cersei?
of her house. Yeah,
Yeah.
with Cersei.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, we see Odysseus going after this deer.
Mhm.
And when he finally catches this deer, he shoots it,
Yeah.
goes up to it, and it's a man.
And it's a man. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, they're being transformed. And not only just transformed as in, just snap and you're a pig.
Right.
She was molding them
Yes.
into swine.
Yeah, and
It
to
was-
film that with no CGI, like the whole film, no CGI.
I don't understand how Christopher Nolan
know how he
pulls
did
this
it.
off with practical effects.
Absolutely crazy how
It
she,
just-
like you were saying, molded them into
Mhm.
the pigs and turning men into pigs.
Huge.
Hilarious,
Yes,
honestly.
hilarious, because people say, men are pigs.
Yeah.
And, she even says, this is your truest self.
Right, because it is for them.
And it was really, also to go along with that, it was really creepy how at the end, when she's bringing them back, she's like, go back into your disguise.
Right.
Like, that wasn't, like, the men, they live inside. It's
That's
not
not-
really them,
Yeah.
The pig really was their true self. And she was, saying that them being men was just
If
a
that's the
disguise.
case, that makes me think of something. Now, if that's the case, then who's the lion and the jaguar outside? If that's their
Right.
true form, who is that out there?
Oh
if
my
these
goodness, yeah.
if these shipmates and regular men are pigs, yeah,
These could have been, great men,
Exactly.
legendary men.
I don't know, it's a cool little detail.
That
about
is,
that.
I had not thought about that. That's a really good point.
But yeah, no CGI being making any of this. But let's go back to Polyphemus.
Hmm.
The way that they created him using a whole, I don't even know how tall it was, that huge puppet that they made.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
The way they make the small sets,
Mm-hmm.
and then just use illusions to trick your brain into thinking
Yeah.
that something's really huge
Mm-hmm.
or really small, but really, it's normal sized things, but the way he's able to trick our brains into seeing what he wants us to see.
So it was
Phenomenal.
It was like a horror film though, being in that cave.
Oh, it was.
And when they stab him in the eye,
One of the most riveting
the
sounds.
sound, it made me like curl up.
It does, man.
Like,
It makes,
oh my God.
It made my blood go cold. Like, I had goosebumps
Mm-hmm.
whenever he started wailing like that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't actually tell, when that night, whenever he was kind of huddled up in the corner after he
Mhm.
was blinded, I couldn't tell that he was talking to Poseidon.
Right.
I've seen, apparently what he was saying. I think I might have been so engrossed in the moment and, kind of terrified by him
Yeah,
that
I didn't even-
I couldn't even really, I heard him murmuring,
Mhm.
but I couldn't tell, that he was talking to Poseidon and asking him, to take vengeance on them.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's really similar to the book.
Yeah.
What he
does.
What Polyphemus is saying
Mhm.
to Poseidon.
Yeah.
So that's a really, really great detail.
And then on the way out, so they get out.
Mhm.
They're on the way back to the ship. And Odysseus fires a shot at Polyphemus.
Yes.
Now I don't know if he. I don't know if he did this in spite. To just like screw him. He says in the film like how many men he killed.
Yeah.
Like, and that's understandable, but I took it as another FU to Poseidon.
Yes.
And another, like, this whole thing of this whole movie is defying gods,
Mhm.
And that was just another one that I feel like the movie wanted to, like, represent to us. That one last shot is like the one final nick
Yeah.
okay, now this journey is about to get even way harder.
It's like how in the books, whenever they get back onto the boat, and they're sailing away,
Mhm.
Odysseus starts shouting insults at Polyphemus, and he
Mhm.
starts throwing the boulders at them. Instead of just going, he starts, insulting him and degrading him verbally.
Right, yeah.
And so he brings on the wrath of Poseidon. So I think that was a really good, switch up
Mhm.
that they did right there.
Right.
But absolutely, just continuously spiting the gods.
Mhm.
And that one definitely came back to bite him and the rest of his crew.
Yeah. So after this, where does he go after that? Does he go to Circe after that, or is it Lastrygonians after that?
I think it's the Lastrygonians after that. That's one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie.
Absolutely.
Of course we've read the book, but seeing the child in the armor that was larger than they were already, we think it's a man, but it turns around and it's just a child.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That threw me off big time. I think
Right.
just seeing it, with your own eyes,
Mm-hmm.
even though you know what happens in the book, it's
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Also, I loved how the Lastrygonians looked.
Right.
Like, they looked like normal men, just huge.
They're just giants.
Yeah.
They're just giants.
Yeah.
In which they are.
Who-
It's just they couldn't. It's like I love how their men just never can catch a break.
Oh, yes.
It
Yeah.
just feeds into this. There's no hope ever.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole journey.
And it ties into, how in this universe, at this time, the gods are everything and everywhere,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and you need their favor to do
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah. So let's
Um,
talk about the sacking of Troy. Let's
Let's
talk
do it.
about that whole scene. Let's talk about the Trojan horse. What an unbelievable scene. And we'll get into this later, but the visual aspect of seeing the Trojan horse on the beach being sacked
Mhm.
underneath the sand is absolutely beautiful to me.
Oh, when it's being pulled out of the water?
Yes.
Absolutely. That is a wonderful scene.
Yeah.
And Elliot Page did a phenomenal job of Of course, it's said that Elliot Page, or his actor,
Yeah.
Sinan,
Mm-hmm.
did not know that they were inside the horse.
Right. Yeah.
And it looks that way. Elliot Page
Mhm.
does a phenomenal job of, convincing the Trojans. And if we didn't know us, that it's a gift,
Yeah.
for Athena.
Yeah.
And the part right after that, when Sinan tells the Trojans that it's a gift for Athena, one of the Trojan soldiers tries to strike Sinan down.
Right. Yeah.
And the other Trojan
It's like,
soldier
no.
blocks the strike and says, no, common gods.
Yes. This is a
Take-
gift.
this
Yeah.
is a
Let's
gift from
take it to
Athena.
Take
Yes.
it to Athena. Yeah.
The war is over.
Yeah.
Um,
And that feeds back into this whole movie being about, not the whole thing, but what they deal with back on Ithaca is Zeus's law.
Mm-hmm.
And violating Zeus's law.
Yes, with the 108
And it almost
suitors.
kind of resembles guest right in Game of
In
Thrones.
Game of Thrones, absolutely.
That's what I kept thinking throughout the whole film was guest right.
Yeah.
And, you offer somebody, like, their place and food, and,
Mhm.
you can't touch them. Really. You can't act against them.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They act against them.
Yeah.
This whole Trojan horse is a lie in and of itself.
Yes.
And, taking it to
Just a total blasphemy,
a total blasphemy, honestly. And it's another, like, a defiance of the gods.
Mhm.
And this time he defies Athena, which he sees Athena throughout the entire film, but in the form of the peasant girl,
Yes.
peasant slave, whichever one, getting struck down right before Athena.
Yes, right in front of the statue. Before they behead the statue as
Mhm.
well.
Right.
Or at the same time.
Right.
I thought that was amazing. I thought that was just, the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Zendaya's actor, that was just Athena's, chosen appearance that she was choosing,
Right, because
But-
is she there? Is she not? Is he, like, kind of portraying her in his mind that
Yes.
she is there and that he's talking to her? I think, like what you're saying, that yes, she is there. She is
Yeah.
talking to him, but she knows that it hits a spot.
100%.
It triggers this traumatic event. When that is like when you see it at the end of the film, it triggers, like, oh, for Odysseus, like, this was not for victory and glory.
Yes.
This is not a triumph. This was for greed. For
And
Agamemnon.
absolutely, and I love how Odysseus says that
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of the movie when he's talking to Penelope when they're in bed, and she's like, oh, she's essentially like over a woman, and he's
Mhm.
like, this is not
No.
about Helen. She's just the excuse, This
Yeah.
is to control the trade routes.
Yeah.
And I love that because that's how it would be
Mhm.
today.
Right.
Yeah,
like, absolutely.
Think about the real world, where all the trade goes through. There's always fighting, over who controls
Yeah.
where the goods come from.
Absolutely.
Happened back then and it's happening
It
right
still
now.
happens now. Absolutely. Yeah.
So that was an amazing detail. It did a great job of keeping that wonderful fantasy type feeling, but
Mhm.
bringing it back down to earth
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the sacking of the city, how it's done.
Oh my god.
How Christopher Nolan literally built Troy.
Yes.
Like, how do you even think of that? Like, how do
And
you
where
even
did they
do
film
that?
it? Morocco?
Morocco.
Yeah.
Morocco. They said they filmed that scene in Morocco.
Phenomenal choice.
Yes, it looked incredible.
Yeah.
And when they slip out of the horse, and then you were talking about, like, when he throws over the lantern or the
And then
the
it
torch.
illuminates the Greeks getting ready for battle. They're all drawing their swords.
Absolutely amazing.
Absolute cinema. One detail I
Mhm.
really liked, at the very beginning when they jump out of that horse, is there, you see Matt Damon immediately, grabbing at his legs. John Bernthal's character is
Yes.
kind of, you
Yes,
see they're
dude.
very uncomfortable because I'm sure they can't probably even feel
They've
their
been
legs.
in there for days.
Days, man.
In there for days, and I like that as well. When
Yeah.
as soon as they dropped, God, my legs. Like, this is the first time you get to fully stretch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love how it got, it was partly immersed into the sea, and the tide comes in and out every day,
Right. Yeah.
and we see men drowning in the horse
Right.
during high tide.
Yeah.
I just wonderful.
And Matt Damon's been like, they've been doing all these interviews and everything, and he tells that story about John Bernthal. Like when they filmed this, they filmed it in Morocco, but in the winter, and John Bernthal's like he's like wading in this little tiny pool,
Yeah.
inside the Trojan horse, and he's freezing. He's absolutely freezing. So like, and that's just for the movie. So like, think about what it's really like being inside that horse for no telling how long they were in there.
I feel like John Bernthal is frequently touted as a television actor.
Yeah. Yeah, with The
But
Walking Dead. Yeah.
Of course,
And Punisher.
and Punisher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The acting chops on that man,
So
phenomenal.
good. Yeah. 'Cause
Phenomenal.
We have Fury, and I mean that's just the two that are top of my head. And now he has Spider-Man about to come out. This man,
He's
everywhere.
good.
Everywhere.
He's really good. Great year for him. And we talked about that a lot. Great year for this entire cast, really. All the stars in this movie, they're in movies the whole year. Next year. It's absolutely insane.
And that's why I'm really excited we have started this podcast. And it's honestly the best time.
It's a really good time.
It's the best time. We're going to have tons of stuff to talk about.
Movies are so back right now.
Absolutely. But yeah, back to the sacking scene.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Nolan using over 750 men to storm when they open the gates. That scene
How
in
do you
general.
control that?
I don't even know. That scene in general though,
Yeah.
when you're feeling like the anticipation of like them trying to get this gate open.
Yeah.
And then Odysseus is like flinging the arrows, and the Trojans are slowly like gaining on them, and they just open up.
Yes.
And then you have Mr. Aura himself.
Agamemnon. Absolutely.
Absolutely insane.
Yes.
And then the real extras, the real life, 750 of them, woof, just storm in there. And you could feel it, especially in the end of the movie when you're with Odysseus and his crew and you're going through the city. The cramped, like being cramped up like that and being all together, absolutely insane.
And I feel like it did a phenomenal job of really just showing, like, once they got into Troy, it was over.
Right.
And other movies, that have depicted the sack of Troy,
Yeah.
They put some emphasis on that. If the Greeks get inside the walls, it's over.
Yeah.
And like in the movie Troy itself, the king himself says that
It's over
if they get in. If they get in, it is over.
Yeah.
And as soon as those gates open, and I think that that has a lot to do with Benny Safdie. Like, I know his face isn't in 99% of this movie.
Yeah.
But his posture and
his like eye movement.
Yes.
The way he looks so serious underneath that armor.
He carries the moment, once they breach the gates.
And the armor kind of resembling how, this is a Nolan film. It kind of resembles The Dark Knight.
Absolutely,
and Batman's suit.
Yeah.
With the way it's kind of structured, like the helmet and like this kind of the skull of it. And then, you obviously have like the chest and the abs and everything like that. It looks amazing.
While we're talking about his armor, how about the vertebrae, the golden vertebrae on the back that go down his, like essentially his ponytail? Kinda. I don't know exactly what it's called. Yeah, but it almost like skeletal. Maybe some foreshadowing there.
Yeah.
That this guy is gonna be a corpse pretty soon.
That is very good. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because when Telemachus goes to Sparta, he goes to Sparta and he talks to Menelaus about everything to get information on Odysseus. And Helen, we get to see Helen. Also something we haven't seen before, Helen getting taken back to Sparta. It's like we never get to see that. In Troy, she escapes with Paris.
She goes to like start a new life with the farmers and stuff.
No, doesn't happen.
No.
They sack the city, and he takes Helen back.
Yeah.
And then you see the scars on like herself, that was like how he punished her
Yeah.
for what she did. I would have liked to have seen Hector or Paris just once, just for a little snippet of them. But I know that this is not what this movie was talking.
Absolutely. I was thinking for a second. Do you know near the end of the siege, there's these men in robes. They're not in armor, but they have swords, and they start running down the steps. They're clearly Trojans.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that could have been potentially Paris or Hector? Because they would have probably been abed. They're royalty.
Well, yeah. So like, I was thinking that too.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that like maybe this is some sort of like one of the like suitors or whatever
Mm-hmm.
that are like of governance that is in the city coming
Remember that.
down to. I was thinking that one of them might have been Paris. Hector, at this point, would have been dead, right? By Achilles.
Yes, he would have been dead.
Also,
already,
would have loved to see Achilles just one time.
Yeah, that
And
would have been nice.
maybe it would have been cool to see Odysseus look over at Achilles. Like he gets introduced beforehand, and we know who Achilles is. So when he looks over and he sees Achilles like storm up those steps by himself,
Yeah.
and it just pans away, and then we follow Odysseus. You know where Achilles is gonna go.
Yes.
You know how that's gonna end up.
But that's not his story.
But that's not his story.
Ah.
This is our story. We're going
Very
down
true.
this path, and we're gonna go towards Athena, where, we see we see Zendaya and everything, and them strike the head off of Athena, which is very questionable. Why would you do that?
Yeah, that seems so crazy. Especially, we know that the Greeks obviously are aware of how important the favor of the gods are.
Right.
Agamemnon himself sacrificed his daughter for favorable winds.
That was insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And we see his wife, the twin sister of Helen.
Yeah. Also played by Lupita.
Yes.
Lupita.
Who, Lupita
Yeah. Killed it.
Nyong'o
Yeah.
did a phenomenal job.
Phenomenal job.
There was a
Helen.
lot of people that
Mhm.
were giving the movie, already writing the movie off because she had been casted as Helen of Troy.
Yeah.
Those people are wrong.
Very wrong.
I genuinely believe that there could not have been somebody that would have done better in that role.
Especially portraying both.
Yeah, she did what she needed to do.
Mhm.
She fulfilled that character to a T.
Yeah.
The scene when she after Telemachus goes and talks to Menelaus,
Yeah.
he's leaving Sparta.
Yeah.
And she goes over and embraces him,
Mhm.
and she says, "Apologize to your mother. Tell her I'm sorry that this was all over
This
me."
guilt that
Yes.
that Helen must feel, and they kind of touch on that in Troy,
Yeah.
with Diane Kruger and everything, and her
She
guilt.
was good as well.
But you could really, I could feel her sorrow and her guilt of this whole
100%.
war, because for them it's not been like. We haven't been here for a week, and we somehow sacked Troy.
Yeah.
We've been there for 10 years. Like, that siege lasted 10 whole years.
Jeez.
And then they finally, with Odysseus' help, because I think that's another thing that kind of gets overshadowed in this movie.
It was because of
his
Odysseus.
idea.
Yes.
Like, let's not get it twisted. This is Odysseus' idea. This defiance and this lie
Mm-hmm.
is his idea. So this journey that it takes is like a redemption of his own soul.
It starts and ends with Odysseus.
And how at the end with Calypso, she finally gets him to wake up and remember everything. And then, but he knows that he has to give himself to the gods. He knows he has to give himself back to Poseidon, and they spare him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he understands what he must do now. And that was just a beautiful. I just
Great
loved-
character,
Mhm.
evolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
His whole arc is spectacular. Yeah.
It was, a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of anything we haven't touched on so far, dude. That we just talked about the sound. The movie, we watched it in IMAX.
Yeah.
That is one of probably the loudest movie I've ever seen. Our seats were fantastic.
Absolutely
Every
great.
time we go to that IMAX,
Yeah, it
our
doesn't
local
disappoint.
IMAX, we choose the same seats,
Yes.
and they're the best.
And because I thought that Oppenheimer was loud. I
It
thought
was
when
loud.
we watched Dune 2, it was loud.
It was loud.
With the sandworm and everything. Like that one scene when it's behind Paul. I thought that was pretty loud. This whole movie
was insanely loud.
but in a good way.
It's-
In a way to make you be right there with Odysseus
and it's
through
like,
everything.
I mean, it makes you feel the wrath of the gods too.
That's
you know?
another thing. That
Yeah.
sound is more of the gods in a way.
And because Zendaya, we'll get to it in just a little bit, but she says, essentially says the gods are in everything. You know, the wind,
everything.
They're in the ocean, they're in the sky, they're fire. Everything revolves around the gods. But when they are on the ship in that final scene before he washes up on Calypso's island,
Oh my God.
that when the ship breaks apart,
Yeah.
you said when we left the theater you had almost anxiety.
I felt my anxiety.
Yes,
come
like,
out.
and it's not like, oh, it's so loud I'm getting uncomfortable. It was like we were on the ship. Our ship was breaking apart.
Yeah, I felt like I was at sea. I felt like I was going to drown. I thought I was going to get cast down.
Yes.
Like, oh my goodness, I could
Christopher
feel
Nolan he put us there, and
in every
in a way that
situation.
I don't think I've ever experienced in a movie before.
Yeah.
That's I think, if we're talking about any standout of the movie in general, it's the way Christopher Nolan was able to immerse you in this movie.
Absolutely.
And I mean, the actors, the writing can be superb, top notch, but the actors have to do their job too, and they did.
Yeah. Amazing cast.
Everybody
10 out of 10
pulled their
cast.
weight. And Christopher Nolan said in an interview, it's an epic story. You have to have an epic cast.
Right.
And that's what this cast was.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
was so star-studded, and it wasn't for no reason.
Yeah.
This book is 3,000 years old.
Mhm.
It's been told for so many generations, and it'll be
Forever.
told for so many more
yeah.
generations.
And this is our interpretation. This
Absolutely.
is what we get. Our generation gets
And
this.
I've seen a lot of people, from around the world, especially on Twitter, they don't like so much, that they're all using American accents. Even Tom Holland
And Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson aren't using their native British accents. They're using American
And they're
accents.
saying dad.
Absolutely.
And like Agamemnon's armor is just dark. It's not like all with color like Sparta would have it.
But like, the book we all read in high school, that's not the book that was written by Homer. That was a book that's an interpretation of the book written by somebody else, not the ancient Greek one.
Because this text has been translated
So many
translated
times.
and handed down and handed
And it
down.
will be probably
1,000
many
years
times
from now.
over. Yeah, 1,000 years from now, this book will be probably a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think this movie will last.
Okay, one thing I wanted to get to after what you just said was the story about this whole thing, how it was portrayed in 3 separate ways throughout the film. Now we begin with Travis Scott of all people, being the bard.
Who did good.
Who did good.
I was
I was very impressed.
Yeah, I was too. I thought Travis Scott did a very good job.
I was very impressed with him.
Yeah.
And I was like,
his voice, obviously he's a rapper, singer,
right,
performer. So obviously we know he has a strong voice, but
to hear him speak and act
very
clearly,
it was good.
No auto-tune.
Yeah.
It was very amazing.
He had a very commanding presence, and
Especially
he was
with the
essentially
staff,
like
too.
a bard. Yes.
Yeah.
The way he started off, a man.
Yes. Dude.
Yes.
So
good.
Put you right in it. And so the bard telling it as a tale, as a
It's like
story,
an epic.
as an epic.
Yeah.
And then you have Menelaus tell it to Telemachus, or Telemachus,
Yeah.
as a triumph. It's like we did that for glory, and like this is some huge spectacle, and this was war. Like flaunting it to him as a huge victory and triumph.
Sure.
And then Odysseus,
This is like a
when
tragedy.
he finally remembers, and Calypso finally gets him to remember everything, and at the end, this is a tragedy.
Yeah, he has
Like,
all this guilt about it, and not only does he understands that it was a terrible thing that they did. He understands that he was the cause of it.
Yeah.
Of course, this was Agamemnon's war. They would have stayed on the beaches forever until
Another
they
10
left.
years probably
yeah.
without you, Odysseus.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But Odysseus, he was the original, was the original like blasphemy against the gods.
Yeah.
In so many ways in one
Mm-hmm.
when they invaded or sacked Troy.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's a great point, Hunter.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And a couple of similarities I wanted to say between Nolan and his other movies and with the Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
The Athena little statuette that he carries with him throughout the entire movie as a way to get back home to Penelope. That is like
It's a common Christopher Nolan.
common little trope that he has.
Yeah.
And it resembles Leo's character in Inception with the totems
Yes.
and how it's a connection to reality and what they're fighting for.
Yeah.
Like Leo does Inception so he can finally get back to his kids. He's doing this war so he can finally get home. Like it resembles him trying to get home.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was cool. And then another thing of this whole story is built on a lie.
Yes.
As I just said, with the 3 ways that it's been told.
Yes. Agamemnon saying that.
Yeah.
It was for Helen. The disrespect, but really it's for the trade routes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So just the war and then the sacking of Troy as well. Like it's a lie.
Sure.
Of how, like in the horse resembles itself as a lie.
Yeah.
Like nothing is true
Mm-hmm.
until when he at the end. But that also resembles in the Dark Knight, like the lie that Batman and Gordon try to portray at the very end about Harvey. It's like, well,
Yeah.
we need him to be this hero, but he wasn't. And it shows you like this lie, and especially like in Interstellar too, Michael Caine's character, his whole like theory, like he's writing out this, like equation. He's like, I'm almost there. And he's like, I figured it out years ago,
Yeah.
but this can't happen.
Also in the Dark Knight when Alfred throws away the letter.
Yes, and it has its ramifications in The Dark Knight Rises.
Absolutely.
Yes, I didn't even think about that. That is great. Yes, the letter of Rachel telling Bruce how he really feels.
Yes.
It just shows you that that truth will always prevail, and when it does, it will come with its consequences. But yeah, man, just Nolan being just a spectacular director.
Yes.
And how he uses his same actors.
I was about to say that I think the way he does that is actually phenomenal because he's able to not only build chemistry with these actors kind of know
what he wants, yeah.
But he knows, what they're going to do. Of course, he said that he does not write roles with actors in mind.
Right.
He writes roles and then he thinks to himself, who would land this role? Who would be this character the best?
Yeah.
But of course he's worked with some of the best actors in the world.
Yeah.
And Robert Pattinson already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anne Hathaway, Matt Damon, Rob. I mean, even his first mate, I forget his name, but he's in Inception and he's in Tenet.
Was it Himesh Patel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Himesh Patel. Yes. His character, he's the driver in Inception. Like, he's driving the van the whole time.
Oh, yes.
And then he's also in Tenet. So
Yeah.
I mean, he just
I was trying to think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just love how he does it.
Hmm.
All right. Do you want to get into the top 5?
Yes, let's get into our top 5.
Top
So,
5.
we already said who we prefer more, Well, let's ask about this. Which version of Odysseus,
Okay.
before we get into the top 5,
Yeah. Let's do this. Yeah.
which version of Odysseus do you like better? Do you like the book version, where he's, this clever trickster, he
Mhm.
also has a sense of humor,
Yeah.
and he's always outsmarting,
Yeah.
every situation. He's getting out of things with his wits instead of always relying on his, brute strength,
Yeah.
and, his, skill at arms.
Yeah.
Or do you prefer Christopher Nolan's Odysseus, where he's, this troubled,
War veteran.
deeply flawed war veteran?
Yeah. I prefer the book.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's a lot more that the book offers with Odysseus' character, and a lot more that you get.
Mm-hmm.
But that does not take away from anything that Matt Damon
Absolutely.
did and Christopher Nolan did.
Absolutely.
But I just feel like what you were saying about him, I enjoy those aspects in the book a lot better.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I think I love that take. I think I'm going to go on the opposite and say that I really, really just not, of course, not the book Odysseus is. He's one of the greatest characters of all time. But Matt Damon's portrayal, and I think just the way he did it, he was so layered,
Yeah.
and he has this evolution
Mm-hmm.
as a character.
Right.
Where he is constantly defying the gods, even when they're talking to the people from the underworld.
Yeah.
He says, you can't save them from the gods.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
basically says, yes, I can.
Yep.
Where of course it ends up he cannot.
And that's where him
But-
and Penelope are going at the end of the movie. Like, they're going back there. He's going to get his men again.
Yeah.
Like, I love that take.
Yeah.
I love that take.
Okay. So, but both of them are so good.
Both are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into our top 5. First,
Okay.
we're
We're
gonna go-
villains or characters?
yes, our favorite monsters / villains.
Okay.
Let's hear your top 5 first.
Top 5 villains or monsters or whatever. Cersei,
Amazing.
Calypso, the Lastrygonians, Polyphemus, and Agamemnon.
I think Agamemnon is a great character to
Right.
have on that list, and I think you could argue that he's not one of the villains. I think he absolutely
Absolutely is. This whole thing is
100%.
Agamemnon's fault.
Yeah.
And, he does it for Menelaus, to get Helen, but it's not.
No.
It's not. All of his greed leads to this.
And the way he sacrifices his daughter, for
Right.
favorable winds, which apparently the gods did smile upon that.
They
We see
definitely
that
did.
the gods in, many mythologies are cruel,
Yeah, let's not get it twisted.
yeah.
They are terrible,
Yes.
most of them.
But it doesn't change the fact that what he did was horrible.
Right.
It was objectively horrible.
Yeah.
And
And I'm putting Calypso at 2. A lot of people probably were like, where's all the other ones? And but Calypso at 2, I really think that her deceitfulness of him.
yeah. That was a huge crime.
If he gets home
How
7
many years? 7 years.
7 years earlier,
Yes.
that could have changed everything in Ithaca. There's
Absolutely.
probably not 108 suitors in his household. There's probably a few.
And imagine the stress and the strain that this is putting on Penelope all day.
Oh my God.
and
Yeah,
night.
let's just take a moment. Let's take a moment and appreciate Anne Hathaway for killing this role
Killing
as
this
Penelope.
role. She did so wonderful.
I just can't get over how her fierceness of it is portrayed, because I feel like in the book it's not really portrayed as that. It's just a woman kind of like waiting for her
and
her
you know,
man for 20
there's the
years.
part where she's weaving
Yeah.
the cloth, and then she's unraveling at night every night to
Yes.
trick these suitors.
Yeah.
Um,
And Pattinson's character, picks up on this and uses that against her. And now she knows
Yes.
that she's like, oh, I'm going to get, caught. Like, he's
Yes.
going to reveal this. And so that's why she does the
trial.
The trial at the end.
Absolutely.
Along with, Telemachus pushing her to do it because, Odysseus is back. But still.
Absolutely. So we'll go with mine now.
Yeah.
Number one, Cersei.
Okay. Yeah, we both got Cersei at one.
Absolutely,
Dude,
and
she's just
she's the standout.
Yeah.
I think she's probably the standout performance of this film.
Yeah.
I was glued to the screen. I was glued to the screen the entire movie, but she made my heart pound.
And this like this depth of her character
Yes.
that she's been through, you could feel like we don't know her backstory like we do in the book,
Yeah.
but like in this film you don't really know it, but you could feel like she's been wronged.
Yes, and she
Like-
was so mysterious.
Yeah.
She was scary.
Scary.
She was layered,
Mhm.
and then but she was also heartfelt and emotional.
Right, that
you
like
know.
she is to Odysseus at the end.
Yes.
And she gives him his men back, but in the book, he has an affair with her and
Yeah.
tricks her. But like, I don't like. I that's another thing from the book that I don't particularly like. I
Yeah.
like the movies aspect of that and portrayal better of that.
Yeah,
But yeah, Cersei's great.
Cersei's great. At number two, I have the Giants,
Mm-hmm.
the Lestrygonians. They were absolutely
Yeah, sick.
amazing.
Honestly,
So
let's just
cool.
be honest.
so
They're
cool.
sick.
Yeah.
They're awesome, man.
The armor, I mean, the way that their bows and their swords just did nothing.
The
against
impact
them.
they
just-
have on the film, and they're in the film for like what, 2 minutes?
Yeah,
3
yeah.
minutes,
something like that.
and they're just slaughtering
chopping them down.
Yeah,
They finally get to the boats and they destroy 2 of the boats.
yeah. And in the book, it's like he loses like 10 of his 12 ships.
Yeah.
And he's only left with 2. But
Yeah.
now I like, let's dial it in.
Yeah.
Because we can't have 12 ships.
And you
But,
want
like,
to make them care for the characters, because you have such a shorter time in the book.
Right.
The book is, I mean, the movie's only 3 hours long.
Right. But yeah, I like that.
So great point. You
Yeah.
have to dial it in. At number 3, I have the Cyclops.
Yeah, Polyphemus is great.
Yeah.
And
Polyphemus was so
horrific.
good.
Yeah. But also, you kind of felt bad for Polyphemus.
Oh, absolutely.
Was I the
No,
only one?
man. They show up on his island, and all this guy is doing, he's herding his
sheep.
little sheep, and he's making cheese, man. He's not even, he's not bothering anybody. You could even say, like, how it's like when a dog dies in a movie.
Yeah.
It hurts worse when a human dies in a movie 99% of the time.
Yeah.
It maybe shouldn't, but it does
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He was eating Odysseus's men instead of his sheep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he just wanted to
And then
have
we
his
still
sheep and
felt
be
bad
left
for
alone.
him.
Absolutely, man.
But yeah.
At number 4, I have the Sirens.
Oh, good
Um,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just
Of course, we
wicked.
only we get to see them in passing,
Mhm.
and it's just these beautiful women laying
Yeah.
on a rock, and I think even more so than just it being the Sirens, it was the impact their song had on Odysseus.
Yeah, that was that
Matt
whole
Damon's
thing.
performance while he's tied to the mast
Yeah.
is so good.
Mhm.
The way he talks about it after.
Yeah.
It's like all the promises I couldn't keep.
Yeah. Just everything.
yes.
Everything you ever wanted or anything.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So good. And the scene where the man, I'm forgetting which crewmate it is, takes out his earplugs because he just can't stand it. He has to hear it. And he
Yeah.
immediately jumps into the water
That was
and starts swimming
crazy,
towards him.
man.
It is crazy. At number 5, I have Scylla and Charybdis.
Yes.
Scylla, of course, being the serpentine monster with
Mhm.
6 long necks.
Yeah.
And then Charybdis being the giant monster that's
Giant.
underneath the sea that's
Yeah,
causing the
giant
whirlpool.
Yeah. Did you hear
Um,
about how they made that?
I did, yeah. It
With
was
the
like
jet
jet
skis?
skis, yes.
That's awesome.
Phenomenal. And when you would go over to a friend's house as a kid, and he would have this, the above ground pools.
Yeah.
Would you ever go in a circle?
Yeah.
And kind of cause the whirlpool?
Absolutely.
You know,
dude.
of course, it works way different in
Mhm.
open water, but it's essentially that, just upscaled.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
yeah.
And it's phenomenal that, once again, going back to, it's all practical effects, man. There's no
Yeah.
special effects. What a job they did.
They
What a
did great.
job. And then Charybdis, You know
Just
what
horrifying.
happens. You know what happens right here, but it's still
It's just still horrifying.
horrifying, man.
Yeah, reaching out and grabbing them,
Yes.
sucking them back up.
And the way, the crew is reacting to it, cuz isn't Odysseus trying to get them to go into the whirlpool? He's like,
But he
go
knows
into it
that
hard
they will
enough
take the other path.
and we'll go out the other side,
Yeah.
And he knows that they'll die if they go into the
Mhm.
whirlpool, but he
Right.
knows, like, by telling them this, that they will fully go
Yeah.
to the other side, fully commit.
Yeah.
And he knows that 6 of them
Gonna
will die.
Yeah.
Yes. And the way the crew is like, he's, his first mate is getting so upset about it.
So upset.
And he's like, this way, if we went, through the whirlpool, we all die. If
Yeah.
we go this way, we live. And he says, except for 6 of us. And Matt Damon looks at him and says, yes.
Yep. Just the harsh
And
reality
It
of,
is the harsh reality.
that they,
and
the defiance of the gods is like, this is their payment.
Yep.
Like, this is what has to happen.
And Odysseus, it just keeps, pounding into the idea that nothing will stop Odysseus from getting home.
Nope.
You
Yep.
know, I think we both had really good top 5s, and it was
Yeah.
hard to pick
It
a
is
top
hard to
5 for
pick.
that. What's our next top 5, Hunter?
Top 5 characters
Top 5 characters.
of the entire film. What are yours? I let us off last time. You lead us off this time.
Okay. At number 1, I'm going Odysseus.
All right. Yeah. For sure.
I think Matt Damon, absolutely. I mean, this is his movie.
This is
you
his
know,
movie. Yeah.
Matt Damon steps up to the plate and he knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
He
does.
delivers in every single scene, and there was a lot asked of him for this
It
movie.
was. Yeah.
I mean,
Matt Damon says that this is his hardest film he's ever had.
and
to
I
film.
can see it. I can see it absolutely.
And like having to get in shape of Odysseus.
And he was in
And he was
phenomenal
ripped.
shape. Yeah.
He's ripped.
He's getting a bit older now. I'm sure that's not super duper easy. And of course
No.
he's loaded and he can, afford personal trainers and whatnot, but you still got to put in the
Still
work for
gotta
that.
put in the work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
he, like I said, he stepped up to the plate and knocked it out of the park. Telemachus.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Holland absolutely nailed
Kills
his role.
it.
Yes.
Man.
And it feels like the books, the Iliad and the Odyssey,
Yeah.
the other books, in this story, it really feels like almost a coming of age story
Yeah.
for Telemachus.
Mm-hmm.
We only have 3 hours, and he only has so many scenes within this 3-hour
Right.
movie to make us feel this coming of age
Yeah.
type, character evolution for him, and Tom Holland absolutely does it. We make him, he goes from this boy who's scared for his mother, who's longing for his dad,
Yeah. That he's never met.
that he's never met. He's trying to take care of this household against 108 of the most powerful men in the country.
Yeah, in the country. Yeah.
And he's just so overloaded
Yeah.
with this, and he makes you feel it. And then by the end,
You know how
he's
small that would make you feel?
100%.
100 men were in your house.
and he's basically a boy at this time. Like,
Basically.
he's technically old enough to take the throne,
He's
but
like what, 23?
yeah,
24?
something like that.
Because Odysseus has been gone for 20 years, but
Mhm.
obviously he was
He was
born.
a baby.
So like he was probably like what, 2,
Yeah.
maybe 1.
Yeah, 1 or 2, because he
Yeah.
was still a small baby. He
Right.
wasn't a toddler yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends the movie. He's king. He's
It's
wearing
awesome.
his. He's in his royal finery.
The arc for him as well is just
so
amazing.
good. So
I
good.
thought Tom Holland also just his acting was just so great.
So great. And people have said that, like we were talking about after the movie, people
Mhm.
were saying that Tom Holland can only be Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And wrong. Of course, not everybody has said that, but
but a lot.
a lot of people have said that. How wrong are they? He has serious range, and for such a young guy,
Yeah,
he's such a young man, and he absolutely nailed it.
yeah.
At number 3, I have Eumaeus.
God, I love
He-
John Leguizamo. Absolutely kills this.
And
role.
he's such an honestly an unexpected cast
Yeah,
for this movie.
Uh-huh.
Almost I don't know why. I think I was still getting used to the American accents in this setting of, Greece and everything.
Yeah.
But he almost seemed kind of out of place. But the way he portrayed, this blind man who was very wise but so dedicated
Yeah.
to Odysseus, he's one of the only truly, truly loyal
Yeah.
men in this entire movie.
Yeah. And they keep harping on him for it. Like throughout, like the suitors keep harping
being
on him.
beaten. He's being verbally assaulted.
It's like, why does a slave have
kicking his dog?
this much loyalty to his master? It's like, don't you have anything better to do? You're also blind.
Absolutely.
Like, why are you so devoted to this man that's been gone for 20 years?
Yeah.
And it all pays off at the end.
Phenomenal. Number 4, I'm going Cersei.
Oof. Love
So
it.
good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she
Yeah.
nailed it. Samantha Morton.
Yes.
Samantha Morton,
And
absolutely.
we watched that interview with Christopher Nolan before the movie came out,
and
saying that watch out for Cersei,
Yes.
watch out for Samantha Morton and her portrayal. Like he said the words from himself, saying, "We were all glued."
she was captivating. He said that she got a standing ovation after her first take, and
I would have been like, "I've accomplished everything in life."
100%, because you're surrounded by the most successful actors on earth
Yeah.
in a Christopher Nolan set,
Yeah.
and you're getting a standing ovation from the cast after your first take.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that.
So that's 4.
That is 4. At number 5, we have Penelope.
Anne Hathaway kills
Anne
it again.
Hathaway nails it
Yeah.
again.
Like we said earlier.
She's a Christopher Nolan staple
Yep.
at this point.
Mhm.
Catwoman.
And then
What's her name in Interstellar?
Dr. Brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Penelope. And
Is it Dr. Brand? That's her name. It's Brand, right? Yeah, it is.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, she absolutely nails this. She 100% delivers. I loved everything about her character.
Yeah.
She seemed like a queen, but she also seemed cunning. You
Yeah.
know, she was so cunning. She was loyal, and Anne Hathaway was able to embody all of those qualities of Penelope that
Yes.
you love in the book
Mm-hmm.
so much
Right.
in this movie.
Right.
She brought it from the screen. I mean, from the ink to the screen, phenomenally.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say enough about her. She did so good. Let's hear yours. Top 5,
Same. Like it's the same. We got the same characters, but
different order.
different order.
Perfect.
So,
Let's hear your 1 through 5.
1, Telemachus. I thought Tom Holland is the absolute best in this movie.
I
Like
think
we
that's
were saying
so
earlier,
valid.
screw the people that were saying only Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
he's had
wrong.
a couple of projects, haven't made $1 billion,
Yeah.
or had a lot of success. But that man can act,
He can.
and he showed it with this movie. He showed his acting chops,
Mhm.
and I'm so glad that Zendaya, that she said this in an interview, convinced him to take this role and to go out for it. And I'm glad she did.
Yes.
Number 2, Eumaeus.
So good.
I can't get over how loyal he is, and how the performance of John comes out. It feels nice to when we're struggling with mutinies and lies and betrayal throughout this whole movie. But when we go back to Ithaca, we have Penelope and we have Eumaeus. We got the only people that, and Telemachus too, but the ones that are just true loyal servants, and it's him.
Yes.
And the feel of true loyalty is almost a breath of fresh air.
100%. And this story of treachery and
Yes.
deceit,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just villainy.
Yeah,
You know.
villain, yes. So he's at
100%.
2. 3, Odysseus. Love him.
Phenomenal.
I mean, I can't get enough. I could watch that movie for 6 hours.
Matt Damon was so good.
I could watch Matt Damon as Odysseus do everything.
His voice, I mean, his acting. His action sequence,
Really good.
phenomenal. We didn't
Yeah.
even really talk about that, but
No.
when he's fighting all the suitors, just slaying left and right,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. I mean, you really, Athena is definitely on his
his
shoulder.
side. Yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
100%.
Yeah, that's another thing that kind of that we kind of don't see a lot of, but when we do, it's like, he is also about that. He is a
Oh yeah,
commander. He
yeah.
is a
He's him,
warrior.
man, and he is king of Ithaca. He's been training since he was a boy.
Yeah. So 4, it's Penelope.
Penelope, wonderful.
I mean, we've been talking about it. We've brought up Anne Hathaway like 3 times now.
Yeah.
There's just what we've said already. I just can't get over it.
Yeah.
Like
She nails it.
everything about her and her presence on screen. It's very also motherly, like also.
Yeah.
Like how she's trying to protect Telemachus, but she's also trying to hold Ithaca together while also trying to treat the suitors by not betraying Zeus's law
Yeah.
and trying to be a good queen at the same time.
And, but it also shows that she also shows that fierceness that's inside her when
yes.
she's talking to Telemachus. She's like, "What do you want? What do you want to do?" And she's like, "I want to lock the doors and burn them all to the ground."
Yeah, and she's like, "I want Odysseus. Like that's
Yo!
what I want. I want Odysseus."
The way she screams it at him.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
So
we'll get
good.
into that in just a second.
Yes.
And then 5, Cersei. She is one of my. I said it earlier. She's my favorite villain. Just the depth of the character.
Yeah.
And the way that Samantha.
In such a
portrays it.
short time.
Absolutely. Amazing.
She steals the show.
All right.
Let's see. What actor knocked it out of the park for you the most? Your MVP actor.
MVP actor is Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. So the
As
same as your
Telemachus.
#1 favorite character.
Yes.
And it makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. What is yours?
Matt Damon. Same as mine. Odysseus.
Yeah.
We've said it.
Yeah, we're gonna go over these.
Yeah.
But I mean it's enough said at this point.
Who was your best supporting actor?
Best supporting actor. So I put down Eumaeus.
Okay.
I feel like I might change it though.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I want to go. Yeah, I am going to change it. I'm going to change it to Penelope with Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
I think
That's great.
It's absolutely beautiful. I think it was just great. The way we've talked about it like a million times now. But
So,
yeah, best supporting.
Anne Hathaway, your best supporting actor.
Yes.
My best supporting actor was Zendaya. There's
Yes.
limited numbers of scenes with her.
She's got like 8 minutes of screen
Yeah,
time.
but every time she's on the screen, she is commanding.
Yes.
And
And
she makes you feel her every
Yeah.
time, and it's like when she talks,
Mhm.
you feel it. And
Yeah.
the end, right before, when she's, you see the girl that Athena takes the face of.
Yeah.
When she's about to be decapitated and she's begging.
Yeah.
You're like, you are grief-stricken and horrified for this girl that you do not know.
We've seen her for 5 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she
Also,
knocked it out of the park.
Another thing that I wanted to point out just real quick.
Yeah.
And it's not even about, it is about the gods, but like in other betrayals of gods and goddesses and everything, they're wearing like gold plated stuff.
She's just
like
in,
the nicest, like the fanciest of all
Yeah.
things. And they, it prompts them up to be like a god because they have these riches on.
Yeah.
Athena,
She's just essentially in a white
she's
shift.
she's got a
Like,
gown on almost.
yes.
And you can still feel that goddess
Aura. Yes.
from Zendaya. And that's what I just wanted to point that out real quick.
I'm glad you did, and it's so true.
All right. Best scene.
The best scene. I'm going to go with the sack of Troy. I mean, I know we see it in multiple different,
Yeah. Increments,
multiple different, yeah. And like we said after the movie, we actually saw,
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of the sack of Troy
Mm-hmm.
in a preview when we went to go watch Avatar,
Yes.
Fire and Ash.
Fire and Ash. Yeah, we saw
And-
that.
Great movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
When we went to go watch that in IMAX, and we got there early, and we saw the trailer for it. And I remember me and you, we had to go. We had to step out.
We had to go get the 3D glasses.
Yeah, we had to go get the 3D
'cause we
glasses, and we
forgot.
come back in, and it's like about to come on, and we
We
stand
just
there.
stopped. We just stopped,
Yes,
and we were like, "Oh my god!"
and it had us caught in it.
As a
In our
trailer.
yes, as a trailer, man. And it was just as engrossing
Yeah,
the second time.
I love
Everything about it was perfect.
it. Mm-hmm.
It's of course what draws you in, is the sack of Troy.
Right. It's
You want to hear about the trials and the
Right.
tribulations and the journey that Odysseus goes on.
but it starts.
It starts with the sack of
starts with
Troy.
the sack of Troy.
Absolutely.
I love it, man.
What about you?
Mine is the final time Odysseus is finally on Ithaca. We have been 3 hours into this movie, and everybody's trying to get the bow and string the bow. And it looks like Odysseus, like he's been away forever. And I kind of liked how he didn't just go up and do it the first time.
Yeah.
I liked how either he was trying to trick him a
Or
little
maybe
bit.
he's just getting a feel for it.
or
He hasn't
just-
touched it
he
in
hasn't
20 years.
touched it in 20 years. It's another thing I liked. But I liked how he grabbed it, strung it, and then at this point, Penelope is just like, oh, I'm going to have to marry one of these idiots and one of these terrible suitors. And then you hear Ludwig Göransson's score.
Yes.
And it's
Doom.
doom. And
Oh my
that is my
gosh.
favorite. That's my favorite scene when he finally is home and we're finally
So
here.
good.
And then, so it's mainly just that.
You're Odysseus, and then takes an arrow
Yeah.
to the neck immediately.
Yeah, that was great.
That character, I can't remember the name of that
Yeah, I
suitor.
can't.
He's played by Corey Hawkins,
Yeah.
who does a phenomenal job.
Phenomenal job,
He
yeah.
plays a really great jerk.
Another Walking Dead actor.
Oh, yeah.
Alongside John Bernthal.
Yeah.
But yes.
Um,
And Samantha Morton. Funny enough. But yeah. She's in the later seasons. We didn't
gotcha.
watch those. But yeah. We won't
After
get
they-
into our Walking
yeah.
Dead spills right now.
I gotcha. We'll save that for
But
another day.
best visual for you.
Okay, so it's going right along with the sack of Troy.
Mm-hmm.
It's when, they've taken out the guards.
Yeah.
They're out of the horse. They've shot, they've taken out the guards on the top of the wall, and Odysseus
Yeah.
gets up there and he grabs it's like a lantern almost,
Mhm.
and drops it down, as a signal,
Yes.
and it illuminates for a brief couple seconds, all of the Greeks down there
It's
waiting
chilling.
to storm
It's
into the
chilling.
city, and they all start drawing their swords. And you feel it. You're like, oh my goodness, it's
Yeah.
coming. Like you
And you
feel
knew-
the
you
doom.
know what's coming.
Yes, absolutely. You know what happens, but it's like, oh my goodness, look how many there are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, Christopher Nolan had he's 700.
Yeah, 750 extras. Storm Troy.
Ridiculous.
With Agamemnon.
Absolutely ridiculous, and he makes it feel like it's more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes it feel like it's like the thousands of men that he does have on
Yes.
that beach with him.
Just so good. What about you? What is your best visual from the
My
movie?
best visual is the Trojan horse on the beach. That is the shot of when they got the ropes on it and they're trying to pull it back to the city, and you got the Trojan on his horse.
Yes,
and
dude. When that Trojan is on his horse, when he's first watching it, and you see him kind of
move his horse a little bit.
to the side, and his cape is blowing in the wind.
And then you got the beach, and you got
Oh
all
my
the extras
gosh.
pulling. I mean, that is
Everything about it, you feel that you're like, and
Yeah.
it's it's the original lie
it's
in
the original.
work.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh,
that is my
it's
favorite
the trick,
visual.
and we're seeing it. It's
Because you know
so
who's
good.
in there. You know what's about to take place. You know there's something afoot here.
Yeah,
And I really love that.
such a good choice.
Thank you. The best line, what would you say? The best kind of line, quote.
So this is coming from Zendaya. So Odysseus says, "Why can't gods talk in ways men understand?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're walking while they're
Right.
talking about this, and this is the first scene we see with Athena. And she says, "Who doesn't understand thunder, fire, a child's smile, a good harvest?"
God, it's so good.
So good. And the way, she's peering into him, but she's peering into us as well.
Mhm.
You feel her presence
Yeah.
so hard. And, she feels wise, but also, she's telling Odysseus and us that the gods are everywhere. And this is something that's going to play a huge part throughout this whole movie.
Mhm.
she's just
But
the
also,
delivery.
this is a direct correlation to real life and reality that we experience. You know, I feel like that is a lot of people. That is a lot of people that go through everyday life, and
Mhm.
is why can't God or
Mhm.
whoever you're worshiping
Mhm.
just speak in a common way? Why does it why do I have to, pour so much into my prayers?
Absolutely.
Why can't I just get a direct answer for why is this person sick?
Yeah.
Why am I in debt? Why am I experiencing all these trials? I got work stuff, I got
Yeah.
family stuff. Why am I experiencing this? And it's like, well, and then what Zendaya says is
Mhm.
like, well, God is everywhere. Whatever God it might be,
Yes.
it's everywhere, and it's not just as simple as that, but it is. It really is simple as that.
So true.
So the direct correlation between the gods and then the reality that we experience is very nice. I really
Yeah.
appreciated that. Mine
What about
is
yours?
mine is Penelope saying to Telemachus, "I want Odysseus."
Oh,
Just
her delivery, man.
the delivery.
We touched on it a little bit earlier,
The
but
delivery and then the fierceness that you were talking about
Mhm.
that Anne Hathaway portrays is
the way she screams it in Telemachus' face.
right in his face.
And it's not, there's anger there, but there's just so much raw
Emotion, yeah.
that Anne Hathaway really pushes
It's
through.
been built
in
up
that.
with her character for
Yes.
20 years. Of course she's going to say it with that.
Yes.
It's not just like, I want Odysseus. It's like, I want
And it's
Odysseus.
that's every man's, dream,
Yes. I get
woman.
what you're
Like,
saying. Yeah.
not even so much, you don't need a queen. You don't need somebody, that looks like Anne Hathaway. But
Or
just
Helen of Troy.
or Helen of Troy, but someone who just loves you
For
that
you.
much.
That much.
Yes.
And will stay that loyal for you
Yes.
through however long it takes
Yes.
you to get home.
And she is the bleeding definition of through thick and thin.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yes.
she's great choice, man.
Thank
Great
you.
choice, Hunter. She
So,
made you feel it. Let's see.
underrated
your-
performance.
Yes, your underrated actor. Let's hear yours first, Hunter.
All right. Mine is Elliot Page as Sinan.
He got a lot of hate as well.
Yeah. Yeah, very controversial
He got
casting. Because a lot of people, like, the rumor started that he was going to be Achilles.
Yeah.
And that it was not, because I went into the movie thinking that. I didn't even, like, continue to do that whole.
Yeah.
I just went with that rumor. But he being Sinan, absolutely.
He did a phenomenal job.
Just,
man.
I thought that it was just, I just didn't expect it to be that good.
Yeah.
Honestly. And we've seen him in, like, X-Men and all that, and Juno and all that other stuff, but this was like a whole nother level. It's like, whoa, you saw that cast and you're like, whoa, not expecting that. So yeah, that's my underrated performance.
And like you said, whenever they're visiting the people in the underworld,
yes,
and
he comes out
he takes that offering of the blood,
and talks to Odysseus,
and he's angry with Odysseus.
Yeah.
God. He's so angry with Odysseus.
Yeah.
But also
because Odysseus lied to him.
Yes, absolutely.
He doesn't know what that horse is. He doesn't know Odysseus is on that beach with him. He doesn't know the purpose of that Trojan horse.
And the way he gives Odysseus this, essentially their lottery, thing. I can't remember what it's called, but he gives it back to him and says, "Make sure to give Antinous."
Yeah, I think so.
Antinous,
yeah.
Antinous. Make sure to give Antinous his shame back. That is up there.
Also,
Elliot Page, he had one of the best quotes.
Being
in the movie
covered
right
in
there.
dirt, by the way, and still like
phenomenal job from the actors.
Giving that performance, and then starting off the movie like
stunt double.
how much of a responsibility you gotta have to open up that scene with the Trojan horse on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
The responsibility that Christopher Nolan is giving him to, it's a gift for Athena.
Absolutely.
And then while like getting stuck with an arrow,
Yes.
it's just absolutely great. So I thought he was very underrated.
And, Elliot Page, has has a much lighter voice.
Mm-hmm.
The way
Right.
he's able to change his voice
Right.
in this movie,
Yeah.
he fit the role
Yes.
perfectly.
Yeah.
He checked all the boxes. Um,
What's yours?
my underrated actor is Lupita Nyong'o.
Helen of Troy.
So good. Helen of Troy and her twin
And
sister.
her twin
Playing
sister.
two characters is always so tough. Of course, we didn't see a whole bunch of her twin sister.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But the way, she's screaming
Mm-hmm.
and pleading as Agamemnon, you don't even hear her in that moment.
No,
but the
you
way
can feel it.
you can
the
feel
way
it.
that you can feel the
Yes.
mother.
Don't throw my daughter into
off
the ocean.
Yeah.
The way when Agamemnon, when the dead version of him is talking to Odysseus and he's talking about his homecoming, it almost startles you, because she's washing him, anointing him with oils and everything.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to her screaming bloody murder and stabbing him in the neck.
As any mother would.
Yes, absolutely.
Any mother would.
And so good. And then, we talked about it when she embraces Tom Holland
On Sparta. Yeah.
in Sparta before he leaves to go back home.
Yeah.
And she's, tell your mother I'm sorry. All of this was because of me. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
and you feel so bad for her. And that's something a lot of people don't think about, is the burden that she likely carries. Clearly carries.
Yeah, the shame and the guilt that you must feel over a whole 10-year siege and battle
Yeah.
because of you, in a way.
Yeah.
But her portraying that in her like you can feel the nervousness in her voice that she's trying to get it out before Menelaus comes up.
Because he's already scarred her face.
And he'll do it again.
Yes.
So yeah, I love it, man.
Phenomenal. Okay, man. This was, I think, really good.
Yeah.
Really good pod. What is your final rating of this movie?
Final rating 9 out of 10. Recency bias. I thought I was going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But, you got to take a step back. You got to
100%.
analyze and look at everything. But 9 out of 10. And I felt sad leaving the theater.
Me too, man. I didn't
Felt
want it to
sad.
end. It was, like we said it in the car, it was 3 hours and we could have gone 7.
Yeah. Could
Right.
have just kept going and going.
It was so good. It was so good. I had to use the bathroom so bad when I got out of that movie. I mean,
same.
but I didn't know until the movie was over. My adrenaline had come down.
Yeah.
My rating is a 9.5 out of 10. I said at the beginning of pod, 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
just an expression.
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal movie. It
Right.
checked all the boxes that we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason it's not a 10 for me is because simply, even though it was 3 hours, there's just not enough. I mean, I wanted more, which you can only get so much out of a movie, of course.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of places Odysseus goes in the books that of course, you can't fit into
Everything,
the movie,
yeah.
especially not if you want to make it matter. You have to make the audience feel this, and Christopher Nolan does this with every scene. But I don't know if he would have been able to if he had to cram so many more things into a 3-hour movie. And there's only so long. You can only keep a bunch of fans engaged for so long.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I think with what he had, he did as good as you can possibly do. 9.5 out of 10.
I love it, man. All right. You done?
I am
Got
done.
anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, man. Well, that's another episode of Screen and Ink. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.